In biology, there's a rule. A parasite lives at the host's expense, but it doesn't become part of the host's body. And yet, in nature, there's one exception. Imagine you've caught a fish and noticed something very strange. Inside the fish's mouth, where its tongue should be, something is moving. This isn't a scene from a horror movie. It's a very real parasite that eats a fish's tongue and takes its place. Its name is the tongue-eating louse. It's a small marine crustacean related to woodlice and other isopods. It grows to just a few centimeters long, but its effect on the host is genuinely shocking. The tongue-eating louse lives in the warm waters of the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans and infects various species of coastal fish. The parasite's life cycle begins with larvae that drift freely in the water column. They don't attack at random, they have to find a suitable host. When a fish comes close, the larva slips into the gills and latches on with sharp claws. Even at this stage, the parasite starts feeding on the host's blood, but the gills are only a temporary refuge. As it grows, the parasite moves deeper into the fish's mouth. That isn't a random choice though. A fish's mouth has a constant flow of food, oxygen, and blood, and it's here that the parasite carries out its unique strategy. After latching onto the tongue, the parasite gradually cuts off its blood supply. Starved of nutrients, the tongue begins to die. This process can take weeks, but in the end, the organ fully degenerates and falls away. And that's the moment that makes this louse unique in the world of parasites. It takes the place of the lost tongue. The louse anchors itself inside the mouth and starts moving with the food, performing the tongue's mechanical function. The fish doesn't die. It doesn't lose its ability to feed, and it can actually live for a very long time. The louse quite literally becomes part of its body. It's the only known parasite on the planet that completely replaces an organ in its host, rather than simply living off of it. From an evolutionary perspective, it's almost a perfect strategy. Killing the host would mean dying too, so the parasite acts as gently as possible. It feeds on blood, mucus, and scraps of food, but it doesn't drive the fish to a quick death. However, there are still some consequences. Infected fish often lose weight, grow more slowly, and become less resilient. Their immune system is under constant strain, which means they're more easily taken by predators. There's another astonishing fact. The tongue-eating louse can change sex. All individuals first develop as males. If there's already a female in a fish's mouth, the new parasite remains male. But if there isn't one, it transforms and takes on that role. This lets the species reproduce efficiently, even when there are very few individuals around. So, a fish may host more than one parasite in its mouth. Sometimes a fish carries an entire family of parasites, a female that has replaced a tongue, and several males living nearby. Infection most often happens when the fish is young. The smaller the host, the easier it is for the parasite to latch on and complete its entire life cycle. Adult fish are infected much more rarely, but such cases have been documented as well. A natural question follows though. Is this parasite dangerous to humans? The answer is no. The tongue-eating louse can't survive inside the human body and poses no medical threat. Even if an infected fish ends up on your plate, the parasite isn't capable of harming you. At most, it'll cause intense disgust. Still, for science, this creature is incredibly interesting. It has become a subject of research in parasitology, evolution, and even biomechanics. Scientists are amazed at how precisely the parasite fits into the host's body without disrupting its basic functions. The tongue-eating louse is an example of just how far adaptation can go into the fight to survive. Nature doesn't know mercy, but it does know efficiency. And sometimes, the most unsettling creatures on the planet aren't monsters from legends. They're real. We just rarely look inside their mouths.